Hello everyone. My guest today is one of the most famous personalities who made it from the Middle East to America, the one and the only Mohamed Hadid.
From refugee to Bel Air, what's your story?
My story was long. I was born in Nazareth. I was refugee to Syria in late 48, from Syria to Lebanon, Lebanon to Tunisia, from Tunisia to Greece. We ended up in Washington, D.C. What happened is my parents really installed on us to be well-educated. Keep your culture, keep your cool, be happy, go forward, forget about the past so we don't have any anger in our body to be able to go forward. When you're a refugee, you have this anger. But we were kids, and they never told us about our exodus from Palestine. So we moved forward, we got education, our family gave us wings, they gave us strong legs to land on. And therefore we moved on into our life to do well. All of us kids, we were 8 kids, grandma, my mom, we all survived. And as refugees, we thought that's how everybody did it, because it was just a natural thing, pick up our bags and move to the next country. My dad was well educated, and he was able to get a job, a good job at the time. He was a professor. Then he was with he was an educator. Then he became a broadcaster, writer, a man of letters. So he did well for us. We felt that we were secured. We ended up in Washington, D.C. So we got all education. We were able to survive the movement, and then eventually each one of the kids got himself into some kind of a job, and here I am.
What's your secret of being a successful businessman since your young age?
It was, I think, just determination that I wanted things to be big. I don't know what was it about. You always think beyond what's in your dreams. You just think that big is good. For some reason, that's how I felt since I was a little boy. Everything was kind of more of a fictional things. So you figure out one day that your fictions can be reality by working hard, get a good education, be able to think beyond what the norm, and I made my dreams to come true. So I decided I wanted to be in the design business. So I designed large projects at one time. I had them financed, I had them built, I had them sold, and they were a success story in the 80s and the 90s. There was a big fall, and I rebuilt myself, and now I kind of switched to just smaller projects, which is actually just mansions in the world. And this is where I am today. So it's not that easy, but it's also not that hard.
Who inspires you to be who you are today?
My parents. My parents were very, very focused too, and very helpful and very securing kind of a family, where they were always behind us, building our confidence. They gave us confidence. My father, my mother, my great-grandfather, who was the Prince of Nazareth at one time, who was Dahir al-Umar Zaydani, who originally came from Saudi Arabia in the 1600s, his grandfather. And then my grandfather eventually came to Nazareth. He ruled under the Ottoman Empire. And then he seceded from the Ottoman Empire, and he became the, as they said in the book, that he was a ruler, the first Arab ruler in the Arab world in the 1800s, which is the 18th century. So he ruled out of Nazareth. That's why they call him the Prince of Nazareth. So he built Palestine around all the qal'at and so on around Palestine and Syria and Jordan and so on. At the time was Great Syria. So he inspired me a lot to in designing and building, because he had a lot of buildings in that area, and until today they still exist.
You built this mansion that you called the Belvedere. What makes it one of the most expensive ones in Bel Air?
It's an iconic piece because it's been here before a lot of the new homes that came up. There's a lot of homes now are out there, and they are modern homes. This is more of a home that has a feel of the old world, yet it has the functions of the new world. So it's an old, smart home. So it's it's modern, yet has a classic. I brought here all the artisans from around the world. So it has the European look. It has the Middle Easterner, has a hammam and a Moroccan room. So that attached me to my world culturally. So there's, for every building I build in modern and or classic homes and or even hotels, I add a touch of my culture to it. So I throw in an ayah, surah from the Quran, somewhere around the house. Somebody finds it, but it's there. So it's a blessing from God.
Every member of your family is a star and successful. What you can tell us about them?
I have 5 kids. I have, my eldest is Marielle. She's a mom to 2 beautiful children. She's super successful in everything she does in real estate. Then I have my other child, Alana, who is a successful designer, fashion designer. She collaborates with a lot of designers to create her own design. Then I have the models, Gigi and Bella, who are both well known for their modeling, but in reality, they're really also businesswomen. Gigi has created an amazing world around her of fashion and design, and the same thing as Bella, and Anwar is following in their footsteps. They're all going to universities. So they are stars in their own world. For me, they are just successful and safe and beautiful inside as well as on the outside. So with what we install in our kids, what our parents install of us, to have that sense of security. You secure them, but you don't give them. You give them that instead of to go out and fish, instead of just give them fish. So they're really good kids. That's what I'm trying to say.
What's your message to our audience?
Well, follow your dreams. One is get your education. Education that will help you in the future. Leave a mark on earth. Whatever it is, just little or large, that will leave a legacy for you. Be truthful, be honest, be successful in your own way, and be respectful, and you'll get a long way.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hadid,
My
for
pleasure.
your time, and I hope to see you soon, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Simo Benbachir, Alarabiya News English, Los Angeles.